Hi, all you SPMEs out there. Today's topic has 3 points, and you're going to want to stick around because the third point is a secret as to the one thing you need to do if you're going to self-publish your book. So let's get into it. Today's question is self-publishing your book, and that is something that many authors wonder a lot about. Let's say you've finished or are working on writing a book. But after you have the book, what are you supposed to do with it? Are you going to post it online? Are you going to just give it away to people for free? You have an awful lot of choices that you have to make with regards to your book, and sometimes you begin to think that self-publishing may be a right choice for you. But is it the right choice? Have you thought about how hard it can be to self-publish? Maybe it costs thousands of dollars in order to get your book onto the market, and you just don't have that sort of money around, and who would want to read it anyways? These are all of the questions that go through the minds of self-publishers when they're first getting started. You've written your book or in the process of it, and you just don't know. Well, stick around, and we're going to answer exactly this question today. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. Hit the subscribe button if you find this video useful, because that will help me reach more authors out there in order to help them actualize their dream of getting their book onto the market. And check out below me here in the description, and you can grab a copy of my absolutely free self-publishing checklist to make sure that you are not making the mistakes that so many authors make when it comes to self-publishing your book. So let's get into it. When I first got started, one of the things that was an early sign that maybe I should get into writing books was exactly the fact that my emails that I was writing to people were extremely long, line after line after line. It was just so easy. And this happens to be one of the ways to find out if maybe self-publishing is right for you. Is it easy for you to write? Even if it's difficult, you get better with time. But for me, it was just so easy. Now, I'm not saying my grammar and all of these things were perfect, though Microsoft Word and these other programs have drastically improved it, showing me things that I was doing wrong over the years. But after a period of time, I began to see that, look, this is something I definitely could do. But then I also realized not only could I write a book, but where should exactly I start? I had ideas I wanted to get out into the world, but it was very confusing with regards to writing a book. Okay, so I write a book, but then what do I do with the book afterwards? So the thing I found to be incredibly useful was I would first break it down into 1,000 words per day to ensure that I was going to get my book in a reasonable amount of time onto the market. I want to make sure that people can buy it if they're interested in the topics that I have. I feel I had some ideas to share with the world, and I know you also have ideas that you need and want to share with the world. And that the world, it's amazing to find out there are so many people that you can help. Whether you're writing a fiction story and something exciting to pull people in, or whether you're writing nonfiction and telling people how to solve a problem that they have, there are thousands and thousands of people out there who are looking and waiting for a book just like yours to hit the market, but they can't read it if you don't write it. So that's one of the things I found. So writing 1,000 words a day, and eventually I had my book complete. But then how do I do the formatting? Do I do it in Word? I tried a program called Scrivener. I tried a bunch of other programs. Nothing seemed to work until I came across an amazing tool called Uto, which you can find my affiliate link in the description. This is the tool I use for every single book I've published right from the beginning after I found it to be the best, easiest one to do that puts it into the different formats that I need when I'm putting the book out. So if you're having any issues there, if you've got it figured out, well, then don't worry about it. But if you have any issues and you're wanting to have your book in hardback and softback and EPUB and Kindle, all of these sorts of things, well, Uto is the correct starting place when it comes to it. But I spent a lot of time on that particular one. Then the thing is, I've never looked back. I never thought I would be here today. It was not like I exactly planned it. And I know that if you ask yourself, are you actually planning to become an author and somebody who's able to have a relative level of success with regards to publishing books? You may be thinking, no, not me, maybe somebody else. You get this imposter syndrome where you feel that, oh, this isn't something you could do. The reality is you most definitely can do it, and there's no reason to wait. So let's get into it. Self-publishing your own book? Well, the first thing is, your point is that you're going to want to do one thing at a time. You start working with the first book. Just don't focus on marketing or formatting or covers or anything else. We're just simply starting with your very first book, putting out so and so many words a day, like I was commenting before. Once you have that book out, then the reality is no matter how long or short it is, it can definitely be self-published. There are people out there who love to read short stories or love to read really long novels or books that tell you how to do stuff. My goal is to make sure that I'm targeting all of these markets so that I know that the books that I'm putting on the market are going to be appealing to different types of readers, whether they want to listen to the book or whether they want to read it. Maybe they want to read it multiple times, like a short story or something along those lines, or a picture book. You can do all of these choices. You figure out what works best for you, but don't think for a second there isn't a market with regards to the length of the book that you have. I can say that there aren't markets for all topics. Some people like to only read certain topics in magazines and not buy books on it, but other people prefer books. And so what we use keywords in order to find out which books are selling and make sure that we're jumping into a market that already exists. We're never creating a market when it comes to self-publishing. But if you've already written your book, well, then get it out there, because your first book, as many people have been talking with lately, your first book is probably not going to be amazingly in terms of the sales. It's the next book and the next book. In fact, if you look at the authors who are making $100,000 or more on Amazon, you will discover a pattern. They all have 40 books or more. And that is something, an average. The average number of books they had was 40. So if the idea is you're going to come out with one book and be an amazing success, unless you already have been building an audience somewhere else, which most authors have not, then you should not expect to make a killing on your very first book. Now, it can happen. I know people personally who have amazing success, but don't set yourself up for a fail. This is a long journey. It is a marathon that we're in here. How many books can we get on the market? And we should improve and have higher quality books with each one we put on the market. But let's get into our third answer, our secret answer of the day, and that is that you begin with Kindle Direct Publishing as your first goal. You have your book. We're going to use Uto, like I mentioned before, to get it formatted correctly into the Kindle format. Then we're going to hire somebody on Fiverr. You can find my affiliate link for my exact cover designer here below, who will make you an amazing cover for only $18, $20. It's unbelievably cheap, and the covers look great. So this is a fantastic starting place. Do not attempt to make the cover yourself. That is usually a bad idea. And so you should go with her, give her a try. You know, you always can change your mind. Just give everything one chance. Same goes with the publishing. If the like Uto, for example, if you don't like it, just return the product. But at least give it a try to see if it's right for you. So many people have already made up their minds about not trying this tool or trying that tool without actually even giving them a chance. And so I want to make sure that you are not making that mistake. So give these tools a try and just don't do it again if you find that you're not satisfied with it. And after that, you've got your Mobi file, you've got your cover, and you can just post it onto Amazon's platform, and you're going to, as your Kindle book, and you get the description and some keywords, and you have your author and your title and all these things, and then we just publish it out there and see what happens. Then the next step is ads and putting the paperback format, which Uto works great for as well. But we start with the Kindle version. And so if you're ever talking with me, the one thing you'll notice, and I know some of you out there get very annoyed with me. I see it from time to time where I just speak the truth to you. But the truth is that don't focus on when you become a millionaire from your first book, or what do I do about marketing and stuff. The answer is you need to get your first book on the Kindle Direct Publishing KDP format, a marketplace first. Then we can go from there. So if you've already done that, well, then we go into paperback and ads. Almost ads maybe even come before, because you need to see those sales coming through. But I would actually do paperback because you'll make more money off your paperbacks, which also surprised me and a lot of other people when we were first getting started. And the second thing is use the tools to keep it easy. If you want to do it free, you may find that you spend no money and you make no money. Those two sometimes hang together unless you naturally are a graphic designer or you're technically minded and you can figure this all out for yourself. But for me, I am not built that way. And so the way that you're going to do it then is you're going to make sure that what you're putting onto the market is exactly engineered to make as many sales as possible. And if you want to do it for free and make no money, that's an option. But I would suggest invest a little bit of money in yourself. Have faith in yourself. Invest a little bit of money and get things going. So get the right tools, hire the right people, and get the process going. And I'm always here to do coaching. If you want coaching help, you can always check out below for my link for coaching in the description. But I also just answer your comments and answer your questions there for free. So you're always available to do that. But I have a question for you before we leave. Have you self-published your very first book? That is something I've been wondering about, and I would really love to know below in the comments. Just let me know so I know where you're coming from, and check up above me here for more video answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.